Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, 4 keys to living a fulfilled life.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
Today we want to share some words of wisdom from author, philosopher, the late, great Robert Pirsig.
And a fun, quick story. He was often interviewed on radio shows, popular author, and one day he was out walking and he thought he was hearing voices.
Turns out he was hearing his own voice on the radio that was playing an interview with him about one of his books.
That is kind of confusing.
Surreal,
wait a minute.
Yes.
What am I hearing myself?
That's right. That's pretty funny. Hi, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. The Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. Now, Pirsig is best known for the book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
What a combo.
I know. We've got a link to it with your show notes today. Zen was published in 1974. And talk about the entrepreneur mindset. His book was rejected by 121 publishing houses. But he was persistent, and this book became a bestseller.
So I guess if you get knocked down 120 times, get up 121.
Yes, right.
Well, and the funny thing is, the book, of course, is not about Zen or about motorcycles. It's about high-quality engagement with others, which he calls the secret to a fulfilled life. And that's what got our attention.
Yeah, and we came across an article about Pirsig that had some quotes from his works that really struck a chord with us because they embody the entrepreneurial mindset that we promote all the time here at Big Success. So let's pull out the professor's whiteboard for 4 keys to living a fulfilled life.
That may not be a fulfilled closet, Mary-Lynn, but it's definitely a filled closet.
Every week it is. One of these days, right?
Pow!
Jeez.
That's a Jackie Gleason line.
So back to Pirsig.
Thank you.
And 4 keys to living a fulfilled life. Lift up others to be lifted up. That's key number 1. Pirsig says any effort that has self-glorification as its final endpoint is bound to end in disaster.
It reminds us of the old saying, it's amazing how much gets accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit.
Yes.
So seek first to glorify others, and you'll be amazed at how much glory you get.
All right, the second key to a fulfilled life, understand whether you're working on a puzzle or mystery. Pirsig says the world comes to us in an endless stream of puzzle pieces that we would like to think all fit together somehow, but that in fact never do.
Now we push back a little bit on this quote because sometimes life's not throwing a puzzle with pieces at you. You're uncovering clues, and it's not a puzzle you're putting together. You're trying to solve a mystery.
And we talk about the difference between puzzles and mysteries. We dedicated a whole show to this when it comes to money with podcast episode number 948, and we linked to that in this episode's show notes. But the same identifiers apply to any situation.
Yeah, here's how you know the difference between the two, between a puzzle and a mystery. A puzzle has a fixed solution. A mystery has a moving solution.
All right, so Professor, let's get some examples here.
Well, a great example, an easy example is if you're going to make a pizza and you're going to follow a recipe. That recipe is a puzzle. We put all the ingredients together. One ingredient goes with the other one, and by the time we're done, we've got a predictable solution. Right.
It's a fixed solution.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's go with an example of a mystery.
A mystery would be starting a business. Even a simple part-time one is a mystery.
Yeah.
Because you've got all these moving parts.
Right.
The market's constantly changing. You're changing. Customers are changing. Prices are changing. Inflation is changing. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're trying to solve a puzzle that's actually a mystery, you'll never solve the puzzle.
Maybe that's the problem Pirsig was having.
Yeah, it could be.
When he came up with this quote.
It's a waste of precious time, talent, energy, and all your other resources.
Yeah. You'll definitely want to check out the podcast where we really kind of dive into that further. So key number 3 to living a fulfilled life is to change the world from the inside out.
Love it.
Pirsig's quote is, "The place to improve the world is first in one's own heart and head and hands, and then work outward from there." we just love this quote.
Yeah, because big success starts from within.
Yes.
It's defined by your vision of the mark you want to leave on the world and your mission, which maps out who you want to serve. When you focus on these things, you get closer to fulfilling your purpose.
And your purpose is more fulfilling, right? Because
absolutely,
you're serving a greater good.
But I love the fact that Pirsig points out, and it's something I think we all need to realize, all of these things, all big success starts from within. Mm-hmm. It starts from within. It starts by defining your vision, by defining your mission. We go further than that. We think about defining your values, setting the goals that relate to those three things, and preparing for the unexpected. Mm-hmm. These are all parts of our kind of a big success system.
And another great podcast episode to listen to where we talk about this is your arena of service.
Yeah.
And we link to that in your show notes so that you can go and check that out too. Key number 4. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We're already to the last key.
We're already there, Mary-Lynn.
This is going fast. The 4th key to a fulfilled life.
But I have to say, when you get ready to do this quote, it may not feel like it's going fast.
This is a little bit of a long one, so buckle up. Find joy in the journey, not just the destination. So that's the key. Here's the quote from Pirsig. Mountains should be climbed with as little effort as possible and without desire. The reality of your own nature should determine the speed. If you become restless, speed up. If you become winded, slow down. You climb the mountain in an equilibrium between restlessness and exhaustion. Then, when you're no longer thinking ahead, each footstep isn't just a means to an end, but a unique event in itself. This leaf has jagged edges. This rock looks loose. From this place, the snow is less visible, even though closer. These are things you should notice anyway. To live only for some future goal is shallow. It's the sides of the mountain that sustain life, not the top. Here's where things grow.
Man, that is just so powerful in so many ways.
I know.
And he says it so well.
How do you unpack all of that?
Well, we're not even going to try, I'll tell you that. So he says this so well that all we can do is summarize this entire quote with one sentence that you can remember. Take life a step at a time and enjoy each one.
Yes. That's the perfect summary of that. And all of these quotes are available with the show notes, which we link to. So that way you can go back and ponder over them as well.
They're definitely ponderable.
So let's review, though, because we broke down the quotes to what are the 4 steps based on his quotes. What are the 4 steps to living a fulfilled life? The 4 keys. Yes. Key number 1 is to lift up others to be lifted up. Key number 2, understand whether you're working on a puzzle or a mystery. Key number 3, change the world from the inside out. And key 4, find joy in the journey, not just the destination.
Make the most of each day, cherish your relationships, and put others first for a fulfilling life. It leads to big success.
Are you searching for more fulfillment? Take our free life purpose quiz. You'll find it at Big Success. That's big with 2 G's. Success.com.
We thank you so much for listening today. Big shout out to our listeners in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Thanks for listening.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at biggsuccess.com.